Everyone, this is Carla R. Jenkins, and welcome to part 19 of Adventures in Workforce Development, where in this episode I'm talking about writing course summaries. So, what are course summaries? When you do get the training, just write a summary about the training, what type of skills you've gotten out of it, and what type of skills have gone into it. So, for instance, this was a learning experience for me. I am using government money to go through workforce development training. The classes that I'm taking are Amazon Web Services, which is cloud computing. And this 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 week I concluded my third training for this month. And for every single one, I would write a course summary, what I learned about it. So I would write, like, summarize what I learned, the skills I had coming into it, and what I got out of it. And the reason why that's important is, for me, with cloud computing, I have a background in systems administration as well as computer programming. So I know how to code, I know how to develop code, as well as do some system administration, which did help me with the cloud computing. So those were the skills that I got going into my workforce development training classes. I did get a better understanding, especially since 2 to 3 classes had lab. But returning back to writing course summaries, those are great, not just for you, so you can chronicle your experience and you can document them, but it's also, I learned, great for your training specialist, because he or she can keep a log of your progress. And also, the same with the training provider, you will stay top of mind. So I had a situation where earlier today I spoke with my training provider, and he just so happened to be at the workforce development site where my agency is, and he was talking with 2 of my training specialists, and they all had great things to say about me, and they were all appreciative that I sent these course summaries and emailed them to them, because they have a lot of workforce development participants that don't do that. And the training provider said it was helpful because then they know what they're doing regarding the training courses, and it's like a course feedback thing. But it's also, as I mentioned, good to negotiate and to stay top of mind, because when you stay top of mind, you get other opportunities. As I mentioned in the previous episode, part 18, just because you're taking the classes doesn't mean you should not apply for jobs. Apply for them while you're doing, because you're accumulating the skills. The same with the course summary. Just because you're in training doesn't mean you stop networking, stop putting your name out there, stop still connecting with the training specialist or the training provider, because then they will help you. And that's what I feel writing the course summaries or giving the feedback of the 3 things I talked about. The course, what you learned about it, what skill set you had coming in, what skill set you had coming out. And my example that I used was, I'm currently taking cloud computing training classes. The skills I had coming into it were system administration and code development and computer programming. What I got out of it was a better understanding of cloud computing, especially with the labs that were there, because I learned more about the back and the interface, but also the architecture and the infrastructure. So that's the reason why, for this episode of Adventures of Workforce Development, writing course summaries are big, not just for you to keep a record and also to document your progress, but also from the other side with the training specialist and the training provider, that the training provider knows that you've taken the class and you completed it, you've learned something, it serves as course feedback for the training provider. And then 2, it keeps you top of mind for both the workforce development training specialist as well as the training provider. So if any opportunities come across his or her desk, you're the first one to be top of mind because you're steady in contact with them. So those are the reasons why writing course summaries for your training courses are essential, not just for you, but also for the training provider as well as the workforce development. So stay packed, because yes, this is part 19, but there's another episode of Adventures of Workforce Development coming right after this. And You can get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. As I mentioned, Adventures of Workforce Development does have a playlist on YouTube. I'll put it down here at the bottom if you are watching on YouTube. But I'd like to thank everybody watching this episode of Adventures of Workforce Development, Writing Course Summaries. I'll see everybody in the next episode of Adventures of Workforce Development. Goodbye.